Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game about a magical theme, an illusionary theme. It's a game about illusionists, and it's called Levitation, Masters of Magic. Levitation, Masters of Magic is a game from Joe Magic Games. Plays 2 to 5 players in about, I don't know, you can probably play this in 90 minutes or so. What's the box say? 60 to 90 minutes, so I was right on the money. So what you're doing in this is you are an up-and-coming magician, and you're trying to go to the 3 big dogs at the time of Harry Keller, Howard Thurston, and Alexander Herman to learn tricks, to be able to perform those tricks in certain cities, to earn the most prestige, because magicians are nothing if they're not popular. So that's what you're trying to do. You're doing that through some dice drafting, some kind of engine building, and some worker placement, and a little bit maybe of route building. That's a lot. But let's just go to the table, see how it plays. All right, so here's a game of Levitation, Masters of Magic. All set up for 2 players. Setup's mostly the same for multiple players, but I just like doing 2-player run-throughs because it's easier to keep track of. To set up, you're going to put this awesome round marker here. Watch this. I'm going to put this ball in my pocket. Then I'm going to wave them over the hand. The ball is now back in there. Wave my hand again. Ball's back in my pocket. Oh yeah, so cool, so cool. All right, that's the first player marker, or the round marker. Then you're going to give each player 4 of these tokens, which are going to have 1 through 4, and 2 acclaim markers. You're going to shuffle the cards, put them out on each of the cities. Each player is going to put their scoring marker on 0. You can put the tickets on the board under the ticket space or wherever you want. And then you're going to roll all the dice, put them in the appropriate spaces. And off the side of the board, I have some flair and more acclaim tokens. Yeah, so that's it. One more thing. This is a prototype. So these dice should actually be, cool personal customized dice with different kinds of faces. But it doesn't really matter for this. Just we're looking at the color. And the cards are laminated. They're going to look better when the full production comes. And I have a cool dice bag. That's not going to be in the final production game. And the tickets are poker chips. Those are going to be wooden. So that's all the differences. The gameplay is going to be the same though. So let's just talk about gameplay. Let's get into it. Yellow's going to go first. So what you're going to do on your turn is you have one of 3 options. You're going to draft a die and you're going to take one of 3 actions. You can draft a die to take a magic trick of the color of the die. So you can look at these cards right here. They're going to have a couple pieces of information. They're going to have a color of die that you have to draft to take it. A size, which is basically going to be used for in-game scoring. It's how big the trick is, how many people it can mystify. How much acclaim it's going to take to activate the ability, and then a special ability, and then how much flair you can put on it. So that's kind of everything that's on a card. And then under the card, there's going to be some cities, which you can put some tickets on when we'll get there in a minute. So that is Howard Thurston. That's what he can do. Another one is Alexander Herman. You can take a die from him. Doesn't matter what color, except if you want to activate some abilities. And then you take 3 tickets of your own color tickets. Then what you can do is you can go to Harry Keller. You can use a ticket to go to a city. So say this city was open. I had a ticket here. I could put my ticket here. If I drafted a yellow die, and I would get 2 acclaim. This is how you're going to get some points, and we'll get to that in a minute. Or you can also, instead of putting your ticket down here, you can either put your ticket over here to score points for flair, tickets at the end of the game, or what did I just said what that is. Oh man, so dumb. Acclaim. I just said that. Or you can do here to get up to 10 points for having 4 of the different types of tricks, or 4 of the different sizes of tricks. So that's kind of the places that you can go. All right, so let's talk about how we play. So on your turn, at the beginning of the turn, each player is going to flip over a token. So let's do this. That one and that one. Lowest number goes first. If there's a tie, it will be the lowest number in the little magic symbol. So in this case, 2 goes first. So then you're going to take your marker up here, cover that up, and then yellow is going to get to take an action. So first thing they want to do is they want to start getting some cards in front of them so they can start building an engine. So what they're going to do is they're going to take a yellow, and they're going to take the cone of flowers. So then they take this card, because they took a yellow die, they can draft this card, and then they have this card in front of them to use whenever they draft another yellow die. So now what happens here is, I have a couple things. On your turn, you can also activate as many cards in front of you with the color that match the color of the die that you took. So in this case, I could draft a die, use 2 acclaim, and make that die any color. So I could draft this yellow die, and I could turn it into any other color that I wanted. The acclaim, though, comes back to you at the end of the turn, but it's locked up for this round when you use it. So that's kind of why I wanted that. So I took that. And then, because I took that card, it's going to open up Berlin for someone who takes a green die to put a ticket there, get some flair. All right, so that was yellow's turn. Blue, they're going to put their marker up here, and then they're going to take an action. They're going to kind of do the same thing because that seems like the best way to go. Let's see. I'm actually going to take this one. So I'm going to take a green die. Take this green die. And then I have, this can activate with 1 acclaim. And I'm going to get 1 point for every red die that has been taken. So I don't want to activate that yet because no red dice have been taken. So that's not a good thing to do. Then we're going to go to the second turn. We'll each flip the token. We'll do this. I'm going to take a couple different actions so you can see them. So 1 will go first. So blue is first this time. And what they're going to do is they are going to take some tickets. So they're going to take a red die. That will give them 3 tickets. So they take 3 tickets, put them over there in their supply. And then what they're going to do is they're going to activate their ability. So they are going to put 1 acclaim on this. They're going to get 1 point for every red die that's been taken. There's 1, so they get 1 point. And then yellow's turn. They're going to take their second turn, and well, they don't have any tickets. They'd like to get a card that gives them some tickets. That would be nice. What's this ability do? I'm not good with some of the abilities here, so don't give me a second. Oh, that's cool. All right, so they're actually going to... Man, none of these cards are that good. None of these cards are that good. I'm going to do this. So I'm going to take this card by taking a red die. And then I can use I can get rid of a point or a claim to activate this, but I'm going to go ahead and activate it. And I'm going to get 1 point. Oh wait, I don't have any tickets, so never mind. Yeah, I don't want that. It's 1 point for every ticket that I have, and I don't have any tickets, I think. Iconography I'm just not good at yet. Played it a couple times, but I'm still not good at it. Gain 1 point for each ticket. Yeah, I don't have any tickets. All right. So that was that turn. That's the end of round 2, or turn 2, round 1. We'll flip another token. Yellow goes first because they have the number 1, lowest number. All right, so what we're going to do here is yellow is going to get some tickets. So let's come over here. Take a red die. Take 3 tickets. And then what they're going to do is they're going to activate this card. Get 1 point for every ticket they have on hand, 3 points. So you're kind of building an engine as you're using it and using your acclaim as the workers to run the cards. Then it's blue's turn, so they're going to put their card up, or their marker up here. They're going to place a ticket because I haven't shown you that yet, so let's do that. So they're going to take a red die. I'll show you why in a minute, because they're going to get a pile of points here. Then they are going to take one of their tickets, and they're going to put it in St. Petersburg. Needs a red die, and then when you do that, you're immediately going to get flair. When you take flair, you have a couple options. You can put it on the card to get a point whenever you activate the action per flair. Each card can hold a certain amount of flair, or you can discard it right now to get a point. I'm actually going to put it on the card, and I'll show you why. And now, because I took a red die, I'm going to activate this. I'm going to get 1 point for every red die that has been taken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I have some flair. So I'm going to get 6 points. All right. So that is action 3. Let's do action 4. So we got 4 here, 2 here. So 2 is going to go, blue's going to go first. And let's see, what do they want to do? Get rid of that for one. I think they want to get another card. So let's go ahead and take this one. So they're going to take a black die. Take this card right here. That's a mouse. You want to claim, you can do this. You can put one of your personal supply tickets to a spot on the board, a point area. So that's pretty cool. So we might activate that right now. So let's go ahead and activate some stuff. So we'll activate both of, no, I didn't take a black. So let's activate this one. I'm going to put one of my tokens to an point supply on the board, a point section on the board. Let's do, what do I have? I have a horse and a mouse. Let's do horse. So I'm going to try to score points for horses. So I need to get 4 so I can get 10 points. Then it's yellow's turn. And they're going to take their last turn of the round. And they are going to put out a ticket, I think, by using a yellow die. Put that ticket right here. That's going to give them 2 acclaim. And what they're also going to do is, that's it. All right, so that's the end of round 1. Then we moved to round 2, take all of our round token, our turn markers back, and keep playing. Now the game doesn't reset each round until a couple things happen. You either get rid of all the dice in one section, then you're going to re-roll them all. Or if somebody does this, so say the board looked like this. You're going to be scoring points in these cities if you can get a connected route of your tokens, either diagonally like this or straight up and down. So right here I'd have Mumbai, St. Petersburg, and Istanbul. If I could do that, I would get 8 points. Then I would take all my markers back. They would go back to the supply. And everybody else that was here in round 2 and 3, because you can only have 1 in round 1, would get their markers back. And then you would take new cards and you would fill those up. So that's how you're going to kind of refill the board with cards and get more dice out. So that's it. That's how you play Levitation Masters of Magic. Let's go up to the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was Levitation Masters of Magic. I gotta say, this game is awesome. I love the illusionist theme, the old time magician theme. I think it's cool, it's underused. The only game I can really think of is Trickerion. While this is not as heavy as that, it still has the same kind of theme, which is cool. So this is a dice drafting game where you're gonna take a die, depending on the color and where you take it from is the action that you're able to take, and maybe some additional pieces of your engine that can fire off. So you're kind of trying to build an engine in front of you of different kinds of tricks, earn enough acclaim so you can use those tricks when the time comes, and get some flair so those tricks are worth a lot of points. That's the gist of the game. So what you saw in the overview was I took all the actions, I showed you how the city route building works to score points, I showed you how the in-game stuff works. That's the game. It's easy to play, it has simple actions, but there's a lot of decisions in there. When you're trying to decide, you know, which trick am I going to take? Do I want to go all heavy in red? They actually have names, but I can't remember. Black, blue, green, or yellow. Or do I just want to kind of spread the love out, so no matter what color die I take, I always have another action that I can take. So there's some cool decisions in here. It's cool to decide how you want to use these flair tokens. Do you want to discard them now for a point? Do you want to put them on a trick? And then if you activate that trick, they could be worth 2, 3, 4 extra points. That's really cool. It's really, really interesting. So yeah, I have nothing but positives about this game. It's super cool, super fun. I'm glad that I have it and can play it, and there needs to be more games that have this theme and that are creative and different, and that's why I like this. So I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal. This is going to get a 7.5 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 3.75 out of 5 on our arbitrary rent scale. That means absolutely nothing, but we like to give it the games that we enjoy. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics. That was Levitation, Masters of Magic. And as always, keep gaming. Now you see the ball. Ball in the pocket. Now you see the ball. Ball's going back into the pocket. Ooh.